Hello from the Tampines Eco Green. This is a short yin sequence for neck and shoulders. So a lot of people carry tension in their neck and shoulders from sitting hunched over a desk for work, a laptop, driving. So this sequence of stretching will help kind of work out some of the kinks in these areas, improve your posture, and also relieve stress as you help that tension to kind of release. So yin yoga, a bit different to the more stronger types of yoga, focuses more on stillness and slow, deep stretches of the connective tissues and the kind of the deeper tissues, like the ligaments, the tendons that surround the joints and the muscles. So the poses will be held longer. So in this class, just for about a minute. And find your edge with each pose. So come to the point that's starting to feel quite intense, but don't take it any further than that. And then be still in that pose. So hold the pose. Try not to fidget or move or distract yourself. It's part of like the meditative nature of yin, is you can really focus on that stillness and coming into your body and coming into that meditative state. So for this class, it would be helpful if you had a block and also maybe a strap, or you can also use a towel or a book or a cushion, anything like that. And find a quiet, peaceful place away from distractions, electronic or otherwise. And it might be nice to set the atmosphere with some music or candles or essential oils, something to kind of bring you into more of an ambient meditative sort of practice. So bring yourself into a comfortable seated position, and you might find you want to sit up on a block just to raise up your sitting bones and get your pelvis in line. And then just make sure that your spine is straight and you're extending out through the crown of your head. You're resting your hands on your knees. And then close the eyes. And just start to notice the sounds around you. Just seeing what's there in the space. And then start to draw the attention inwards, starting to ground yourself here on the mat, coming into the body. So noticing the contact points below you, where you're sitting on the mat. Relaxing across the face, relaxing the shoulders. And just notice how you're feeling today. And now draw your attention to the breath. Just being aware of every inhale and every exhale. Really noticing the flow of air, where it goes, how it feels. The movement of your body with the inhales and exhales. And if at any point in the practice you start to feel your muscles tightening up or feeling tense, then just come back to the breath. Become aware of the movement of the breath, and on every exhale, just allow your muscles to relax and release. So sending the breath to any areas of tension, any areas that start to feel tight. And now imagine yourself surrounded by a warm, radiant light surrounding your body. And as you inhale, feel yourself breathing that light in, feeling the energy fill you up. And as you exhale, feeling the calm descend across your body as that energy spreads through. So inhaling in that light and exhaling, releasing the body, relaxing a little bit more. And if at any point during the practice you're suffering from a recurring negative thought or emotion or feeling, just bring yourself to this practice. Imagine that you're breathing in a calm energy, and as you exhale, you're expelling that negative thought, that negative emotion. One more deep breath in. And open the mouth, exhale. And then allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And then start to blink open the eyes. And we'll start at the neck. So a lot of people tend to carry tension in the neck from hunching over desks and things like that. And so taking some time to stretch this area can be really good for posture and for relieving stress. So to start, you can interlace your hands just at the back of your head. And as you inhale, extend up the neck, lengthening out of the crown of the head. And as you exhale, just let your head fall back. Let the weight fall back into your hands. Just allowing the head to come back as far as it will go comfortably. And then inhale, bring yourself back to center. Again, lengthening out of the crown of the head. You can interlace your hands a little bit higher, still on the back of your head. And as you exhale, this time allow your chin to drop down towards your chest. And the hands on the back of your head are just acting as a weight, not pushing your head down, but just helping you to get a slightly deeper stretch here. And then you can either stay here in the center, or maybe you can move your chin slightly to the left, still letting your chin rest down towards your chest, and just notice how the stress in your neck moves to the right, feeling how that shifts. And with every inhale, try and reach your chest up towards your chin. And as you exhale, releasing the tension. allowing the stretch. And now maybe you can move your chin just to the right. And again, letting the chin rest down towards the chest and just noticing how this feels. Feeling the stretch in a slightly different area of the neck. Just breathing here. And then slowly rise back up, releasing the hands, maybe a bit of a shoulder roll. And then we'll come to a stretch along the side of the neck. So if you do have any issues in the cervical spine up near the neck, then just listen to your body. And if it feels painful, or if anyone feels nauseous or dizzy, then best not to do it. Or you can try moving your neck in a slightly different position, a different angle. But ideally for this, you want to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder, and you don't want your chin to come down towards your chest. So your shoulders are level, and you're just dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder. And now extending the right arm away from you, fingertips on the mat. Reaching up with the left hand over the right ear, and just gently pulling the head away from the right shoulder, feeling that stretch down the right side of your neck. And we'll hold for about 30 seconds more. And then release the hand on the neck and slowly, gently rise the neck up to center. And we'll take that to the other side. So now dropping the right ear down towards the right shoulder, extending the left arm away, the fingertips come up onto the mat, and then reaching over with the right arm to the left ear and just gently pulling the head away from the left shoulder, just increasing that stretch slightly. But if you do feel any dizziness or nausea or pain, then come out of this pose. And 30 more seconds. And then release the hand and gently bring the neck back up to center. And now we're going to come into archer arms. So this is good for opening across the chest. It can allow deeper breathing. It also helps with flexibility of the shoulders and a bit of strengthening of the upper arms and the upper back as well. So for this you can use a strap. So if you have that, just make sure it's to one side. And then maybe you might want to change the crossing of your legs. just to, so you're not falling too much onto one side. And then inhale, reach up with the right arm. And as you exhale, bend at the elbow, and you're bringing your hand to just below the neck, in between the shoulder blades, so to about here. And then inhale, reach the left arm out, and exhale, bend at the elbow and reach the left hand behind the back. And if you can interlace the fingers. But otherwise, you can take your strap or your towel or whatever you have and just hold that with both hands. So wherever you reach, maybe it's here, you just hold onto the strap like that. And feel your elbows pulling away from each other. I'm going to interlace the hands. And we're holding this for a minute. So once you find your edge, just be still in this pose. If you have had any shoulder injury, then do be careful, and if you notice any pain, just come out of the pose. "15 seconds. And release the hands. And we'll take that to the other side. So reaching the left arm up, bending at the elbow, bringing the hand just below the nape of the neck, in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, reach out with the right. Exhale, bend at the elbow and just interlace the fingers. Or again, grab the strap and just hold the strap in both hands. And just press the elbows away, feeling the opening across the chest, allowing your breathing to be deeper. And we'll hold this for a minute. So noticing any tendency to fidget or to move or to distract yourself. And if you need to, coming back to your breathing. As you exhale, allowing yourself to release and relax in another area of your body. On each breath, seeing if you can relax a little bit more. And release the arms, bringing them down to your sides. And now just to release across the chest, you're going to press out as if you're pushing two walls away from you, extending and opening. And release the hands. And we're just going to come into a child's pose now. So rolling yourself over, opening up the knees, bringing the big toes together, and just rest your chin down onto the mat. Sorry, your forehead down onto the mat. And you can have your arms extended forwards, or you can also just let the arms rest behind you. And then extending the arms forwards. Inhale, rise yourself up, and we're going to come into Sphinx. So for this, You've got your forearms on the mat, your elbows are bent at a 90-degree angle, and your chest and your head is raised. And you can widen your feet apart slightly to take some of the pressure off the lower back. And we'll just hold here. Checking in with your body, noticing how you're feeling. And now we're going to come into Bowtie. So this is a restful, deep stretch of the shoulders. And it also opens up the upper back. So it's good for the hunching and the rounding of the shoulders that happens at work or when sitting at a laptop. So this one, you're going to take your left arm and just thread it behind your right until your elbows are about in line. And you want your palm to be facing up, and then press your forearm into the mat. Then you take your right hand and turn it so that your forearms are going in opposite directions. And for this one, the palm can be facing down. And then move your arms away from each other as far as they can go. And when you've reached your edge, let your body melt forwards, and you can either rest your forehead on the mat, or I like to just rest my forehead onto a block. And if you have had any rotator cuff injury, then you'd want to be careful with this pose. So just listen to your body, and if you're feeling pain, just slowly back out of the pose. And we'll hold this for a minute. And then slowly bring the arms back to Sphinx. And we'll take that to the other side. So threading the right arm behind the left until the elbows are about in line. And turning that palm to face up, pressing the forearm into the mat. And then the right hand turns so that both arms are pulling away from each other. Palm facing down, pressing both forearms into the mat. And then let your head come forwards and rest on a block or on the floor. Your chest is pressing into the folded arms in front of you, and we'll hold this for a minute. Okay, and release. And now just bring your hands over the top of one another and just rest your head on your palms. Just taking a few moments here. Okay, raising the head up, and we're going to come into a lying shoulder stretch. So again, if you've had any shoulder injury, just listen to your body and slowly back out of it if at any point it feels uncomfortable, or if you feel any tingling, then just slowly back out of the pose. So this is a good stretch across the chest and the shoulders. You're going to take your left hand and bending the elbow 90 degrees, just having the hand out to one side, and then bend the right elbow so that the right hand is flat on the mat just next to your rib cage, and then pressing into the mat with the right, lift your right side body up so that you're coming onto your left side of your ear, your shoulder, your hip. And I like again to put a block just under my head here, and you can bend the knees and keep the legs stacked. And if you want to take this a bit further, you can extend the right arm up and place the back of the hand on the lower back. And you can also extend the top leg and just float it behind you, so bringing the foot flat on the floor. Whatever level you want to go to, wherever your edge is today. So I'm going to stack my legs, and we'll hold this for a minute. So noticing where you're feeling the stretch. And if at any point you do feel tingling or numbness or pain, just slowly back out of the pose. And releasing the top arm, rolling yourself back, and we'll take that now to the other side. So bending the right arm at 90 degrees at the elbow, bending the left elbow to bring the left hand flat to the mat, and then pressing the left side of the body up. You can bring the block under your head again, and rolling over onto the right side, bending up the knees, stacking the legs, feeling the stretch here. Maybe if you want to, reaching up with the left, bending at the elbow and bringing the back of the hand to the lower back. And we'll hold here for a minute. Okay, releasing the hand, rolling yourself back to center, and again, stacking the hands in front and just resting the forehead on the hands. Just taking a few moments here. And then you can stay there if you want to, or otherwise just roll yourself onto your back and we'll come into final resting pose, into Shavasana. So just allowing your legs to come as wide as the mat, the feet falling out to the sides, arms alongside the body, palms facing up. And just take a bit of time to let the yin yoga settle into your body, allowing the effects. Just notice how your body's feeling. Any areas of tension or soreness, or maybe areas that feel looser. And coming back to the breath, allowing every exhale to take you deeper into relaxation. And just take as long as you need in Shavasana, just letting the body release and relax.